What's up, everybody? This is Zero Gravity, Apollo Media's NBA podcast, where we talk about all the things happening in the NBA. We love basketball. You know who else loves basketball? Big City Wings, Houston Swing Joint, Apollo Swing Joint. They've got specials every week. Go check out Big City Wings. They're opening their 14th location here in the next few months in the Houston greater area. So go check out Big City Wings. And this podcast is also brought to you by Celebrity Mint. Go check out the Ric Flair and Mike Tyson collectibles. They're all graded. They're all silver, gold, just precious metals. Awesome collectibles that you can get from celebritymint.com. So go check them out in the description below on YouTube at Apollo HOU. I'm joined here by the What We Learn Houston Rockets Edition King, Josh Garcia. How we doing, bud?
I'm great, man. I got to see a 14-game slate this weekend. Hella basketball. Texans made the playoffs. A great end-game safety as well. We don't see that much of that anymore.
Yes.
Lots been happening.
Very strange.
Just kind of been ingesting it all, having fun. Can't really complain, man. How you doing?
Oh, we're good. We're here in Miami, Florida, home of Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. So
Yep.
It's not sunny right now, but it's still Miami. So you can't be really upset with it, you know?
Right.
But yeah, a lot of basketball has been happening. Obviously, it's football weekend, the last weekend of football. But basketball went kind of crazy the other night, including Nikola Jokic.
Yep.
Calling glass or not calling glass.
Nope.
If you saw his post-game presser with Shaq and Chuck. But yeah, Jokic basically just ended the Warriors' run. It's over.
At this point, absolutely. It is so done. You know how everybody says, oh, we're so back? It's so over. It is so more than over. It feels so good to finally say at this point, Steph Curry and the Warriors could be finished. I mean, I hate that it took, Chris Paul getting injured, Kuminga wanting out. We'll get into this in a little bit, but the youth movement, fuck it, we'll get into it now. The youth movement is done. Like, Wiseman is out. Nobody's calling him a bust. He is a bust at this point. And it sucks that he's letting his career just rot away in Detroit. But you're seeing guys like Moody, Kuminga, you're seeing Dario Saric get 15, 20 minutes a game. And I love him. There's a lot of niche fan accounts on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, who love Dario Saric. But it's just sad seeing that rotation go from, KD, Clay, Iggy, even Andrew Bogut of all people, Draymond. The team was so deep. And now we're seeing, people, Kevon Looney getting, full starting gig. And I think he's a great defensive center, but you can't do much with that at that point. I mean, it's like giving Festus Ezeli 35 minutes a night. The team is in shambles at this point. It's great that, as a Houston guy, it feels good, but it was weird that Jokic kind of started this free fall. I mean, immediately right after he hit the shot, you just see Kuminga just throw his hands up. He's like, I'm good. Fuck y'all. I'm good. It's just, it's so fresh. It's so interesting just seeing, all this happen. And man, I love it. I love every minute of it.
And that's also the most emotion that Jokic has ever displayed on a basketball court,
Yes.
other than wanting to murder one of the Morris twins. Like, other than that, like that's the most emotion that we've seen out of Jokic. And you can see how big of a moment it was, in a sense. Like, when he hit it, he knew that he killed him. It's over.
Yep.
It's done. Yeah, Chris Paul has a fracture in his hand, or he broke his hand, or whatever it is.
4 to
so
6
he
weeks.
has to have surgery.
Yep.
And he's out. Kuminga played 18 minutes and scored 18 points in that game against the Nuggets, and then sat the last 18 minutes. Is that correct?
Yep.
Of the game. A lot of 18s going on there. But yeah, and when you understand that he's getting buckets and also potentially getting stops on the other end, and then you just take him out because I don't know why Steve Kerr takes him out. He's yelling about music, sounding like a club in the Phoenix Suns games, and not playing the right people. Draymond obviously is a whole conversation that we've already had this season multiple times, actually, on this podcast, where we've discussed Draymond Green, but he's on his way back. I guess they're going to ramp him up for the next week or two, and then he'll be back on the court. Steph does not look like he's having a good time. Klay Thompson should have been traded last offseason. They waited too long, and now he's just untradeable, and then he's not going to get the contract from the Golden State Warriors, so you're going to lose him for nothing. You could have gotten a second-round pick or just some role players that would have helped him out, but you chose pride and legacy over good basketball and keeping Steph Curry happy, essentially. Like, I'm sure you kept him happy because you kept Klay, but you know what would make Steph Curry happier? winning basketball
A
games
better
probably
team.
would help.
Exactly.
Yeah, that might work. Trading Wiseman and when you could have drafted probably LaMelo Ball, and LaMelo Ball like lifts your ceiling. That lets you move on from Clay earlier and not have to worry about the injuries and all that kind of stuff that were ensuing after the after effects of Achilles and ACL injuries back to back seasons. Like you could have just had LaMelo Ball, which has his own injury history, but at least he's younger.
Right.
Yeah, you missed, and then you trade all these like the second round picks, and you get Gary Payton the second back, and now he's hurt. It's like what's going like I don't understand how it happened so fast. Like literally within 48 hours, it's done. It's over.
It's so over.
Over.
Yep. It it's so strange because this is the most perfect opportunity that I've seen any dynasty have. Um, you immediately get a number one pick after years of winning. Somehow, some way, it just falls in your lap. You could get Lamelo next season. You could get Franz Wagner. You can get Alperen Şengün.
Oh, I forgot about
You
Franz
stick you
and
you stick
Shanks.
with Kuminga and Moody have yards, meters of potential, but these people are making, Franz Wagner, Scotty Barnes, Şengün, they're making, so many leaps of potential now, and immediate impact. It's just really sad seeing that fall from grace. I mean, Bob Myers, somebody in that system, whoever is dealing with scouting, like we mentioned last episode with OKC, this is like the pure opposite. I mean, we're stuck with the results of just shitty scouting, kind of throwing darts at a dartboard blindfolded, and just hoping for the best. And even out of college, James Wiseman, yeah, he looked great, but he wasn't on like Shaq levels of a number one center, being drafted. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't a, Dikembe Mutombo. He wasn't a, Alonzo Mourning. We didn't really know what his game was nor his ceiling. And it was just it's always weird seeing big men get drafted like top 3, top 5, because a lot can happen, man. Look at Kwame Brown, man. And I hate to throw
Oh
that
yeah.
out there, but I mean, there's a lot of people who have gotten drafted really high, especially big men. Greg Oden, of course. I mean, I hate to put the bust allegation on James Wiseman, but I saw a video of someone on Twitter doing a 45-minute breakdown of James Wiseman highlights against the Warriors. Fucking
Against the Warriors.
sicko. Absolute sicko. And if this is
How was there 45 minutes of
it
highlights?
was all from like a game or two. I don't know what we were doing. He was pausing it. I watched the first like 5 minutes maybe. I was bored as hell. I was just watching it. And he was pausing shit, breaking it down. And I felt bad because he put so much effort into it, but it's like I saw the quote tweet. It was like, you immediately need to go to jail. You have to.
Yeah,
Why are you
yeah.
doing this?
Sicko.
And
Sicko.
absolute sicko. And if we're having to, make ourselves cope by doing 45 minutes of James Wiseman breakdowns, maybe he's just not a good player at this point. And he doesn't even play.
Seems that
Yeah,
way.
he doesn't even play for the Warriors anymore. This is beyond the point. But
Yeah.
all it comes down to is just bad scouting, bad drafting, bad execution more than anything. And it feels really good to say that the Warriors are done. And thank God that it was Jokic, the best player in the world, to do it.
Yeah, it's the end of the dynasty. It's the end of the run. They obviously win the 2022 title. Get 4 out of 6. Lose to the Raptors, lose to the
Yeah.
Cavs, right?
Yep.
So yeah, 4 out of 6, and how many ever years that was since 2015. So 7 years, you win 4 out of 6 in 7 years. Pretty good.
Great.
Pretty good.
Great.
You did great. It's over.
It's over now.
It's over. It's time to let literally anyone else just run the NBA for a little bit.
Yep.
I hope there's some parity and we don't have the Nuggets repeat this year.
Please.
That'd be really cool.
Please.
Just so we can have some fun. I don't care who it is. Just anyone else.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Anyone else.
Wolves Nuggets, Western Conference Final. Please,
Yeah, it would
inject that in my veins. I need that
It would slap.
expeditiously.
You know what else would slap?
Talk to me.
A Mavericks Nuggets Western Conference Finals where Luka just starts tampering and gets Jokic over in the offseason.
Yep.
Just have the Eastern European boys over in Dallas. It'd be awesome.
Yeah, that's
It'd be great.
That's the all heart, all soul team. You know what I mean? All dog team for sure.
All fat, no speed.
Yep,
It's gonna be
that's
awesome.
right. That's right.
Let's talk about a team that's on the come up instead of a team on the downfall. We talked about them a few days ago. They made a big trade. OG Anunoby comes over from Toronto Raptors to the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks traded RJ Barrett, and Emmanuel Quickly, and Knicks fans were a lot of Knicks fans were upset. Like
Rightfully.
I'd say 70% of my timeline was just upset Knicks fans
Right.
for 24, 36 hours. It was rough. Felt bad for them. You know, I just was like, boys, we got to get together. It's okay. You got a new guy in, new blood. Let's greet him just like you did RJ. RJ comes in and you baby him. He's the sweet baby boy RJ, 19 years old, gets drafted to the Knicks. He's so excited, just a bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. He didn't know what he was in for. We didn't know what we were in for. The Knicks fans didn't. So OG comes in, and now all of a sudden, like everything's unlocked except for the backup point guard position.
Yep.
Literally everything just
Yep.
seems better. Everything seems good. Everything seems way better. The Brunson, OG, Randall minutes are awesome.
Yes. Yes.
No Mitchell Robinson. Robinson's hurt for the rest of the season, probably.
Yep.
They haven't filed for that extra, the disabled player money that they can get. I think they have a couple more days to file for
Yeah,
that.
the
But
exemption.
yeah, the exemption. So, and they have another trade waiting on them because they have 8 first round picks. If they wanted to, they could go get another guy at the deadline, or they can wait till the offseason and really get that big star who was upset. But yeah, the Knicks look like geniuses right now.
Oh yeah.
Just getting OG and giving up RJ, you get off that money. That way you can pay OG. And you gave up Emmanuel Quickly, potential 6 man of the year candidate, but they look awesome. Just incredible.
Absolutely. They completely blew out Philly, and they've been 4-0 since the new year. I think 3-0 since the Anunoby trade. This is
Yep.
sick as hell. I love watching this Knicks team not only shut up everyone who was like, "Oh, y'all got fleeced," but immediately backing up and just shitting on one of the best teams in the league. I mean, their schedule these past couple of weeks overall has just been weird. They've been playing really high powered offenses. Speaking of,
Yep.
Indy dropped 150 again the other night. So
Yeah, the
shout
Bucks
out them.
have a Pacers problem.
Yeah. Yep. That's a topic for another day, but
Yeah.
it is really we've mentioned this before. It is great to see high powered offenses. I don't think the Knicks can necessarily be that yet, especially under
No.
Tom Thibodeau. But it is great to see the team somewhat meshing this early, especially after the trade. And man, OG might be a Knick for life after this.
And he's
Immediate,
wearing number 8,
yeah,
like the
yeah,
J.R. Smith number.
yeah.
It's so good.
Good
It just
vibes,
feels right. Just feels
exactly.
right. And Knicks fans, they get him in, and everyone's like, OG's hasn't even been good this year. And I want to say that's a little bit of, I guess, a telltale sign of the Raptors this season. The vibes are at an all-time low,
Yep.
which we haven't had with the Raptors. They've always just been good. They always play defense well. They always score well. They're just a good all-around team. And OG just coming to the Knicks and just immediately being good again is telling me something. It's like he didn't want to go to work, and he's pulling Eric Bledsoe. He's like, I
Yep.
don't even want to be here anymore.
Yep.
Yeah, so OG on the Knicks, it looks good. He looks right in the number 8 on the New York Knicks, just in the Garden. No emotion, very Kawhi-esque. Every time he does anything, no emotion,
No,
none.
it's so sick because almost at this point, it's like, with Toronto, he was basically like donating plasma every day, and then the next day he's in New York and driving a fucking Lamborghini. I mean, the
Mhm.
turnaround is crazy. And if the Knicks can manage to get like a somewhat solid playoff spot, even if Anunoby walks, I mean, which I don't think he will at this point, which of course it's very early, but you never know.
Yes,
Even if Anunoby walks and they still do better this season than 45 wins, maybe this is a
yeah,
win. This
they're
is a win for sure.
4-game win streak, 6-4 in their last 10, 21-15. They went from the 8 seed in the play-in before the trade, and now they're the 4 seed
Incredible.
in 3 games,
Incredible. I
4
love
games.
this.
Yeah, and it's just they're 7.5 games back of Boston right now. I don't expect them to go get the 1 seed. They
No.
already have 15 losses. It's more than twice what the Celtics have right now in the Eastern Conference standings. But they just, I really don't. Is it a vibe change? Like they just got RJ out and we're just like, all right, we're good. And I don't think RJ was a bad vibe. It was like a vibe killer necessarily. I just think it was, oh, he's got the ball. Damn.
Killing 20 seconds of ISO ball on the shot clock just for a shitty ass 3-pointer. I mean, RJ Barrett is great and he has amazing potential, but in New York, I'm not feeling it anymore. Toronto, I don't think
Yeah.
is going to be his forever home. I think he would honestly flourish much more in a 20 to 25 minute off the bench role for a better team.
Okay.
I'm looking at a Boston. I'm looking at a Clippers when everything's going right for the Clippers. Of course, this is years into the future. He's still on his
Right.
rookie deal, right? I'm thinking so.
No, he just signed an extension.
Okay, okay. Oh, we did
So
we did mention that.
I
Yeah.
think he's on the first year of the new contract, yeah.
Okay, okay. So yeah, and if he's
Or
getting
maybe it kicks in this summer,
okay,
but
if he's
either
getting
way.
crazy money
Yeah.
already, I mean, who knows? Maybe Toronto might be his spot.
It's
But
like 120
yeah, it was
or
over 100, huh?
140
I
something,
think
130.
yeah, that's
I don't
solid.
remember.
That's very
It's in
solid.
there. It's a
Um,
lot of money. It's more than Brunson.
Siakam is stuck, and I feel so bad for the guy because I saw
Welcome
the
to Dallas.
the yeah, yep. The agenda's being pushed already, but I saw that Detroit wanted him for whatever reason,
Yes.
and I feel like that is just basketball purgatory at this worse than purgatory. I don't want to say hell, but it's teetering.
We're inching our way down.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I don't understand why Detroit would be buyers. I mean, of course, nothing can get much worse than this, and I think that, of course, there's nowhere you can go but up from here. I mean, what's the worst that you could? You can't get much worse. You could have 0 wins. That's three more than you currently
Yeah.
have, or three less than you currently have. But Siakam outside of a Raptors uniform, I don't like it. Maybe he'd look good in blue, but I really think that he needs to stick it out in Toronto, especially if they want something to build, maybe not directly this year, but if they can go out and sign somebody, you know, who knows? The sky's the limit. Maybe 5 seed next year.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on in Toronto. It doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make
I
sense. Like
know.
Siakam, it was obviously the other day. Was it Thursday or Friday? I can't. It was Thursday. The Siakam trades were like, it was about to happen. The
Yeah.
Sacramento Kings stepped up. They were about to play. They were just like moving down the ball field and just like, here's the trade. This is what we're gonna do. Shams is reporting on it. It's the Kings and the Raptors. They're talking a deal right now. They're working to get it done. Yada yada yada. And then all of a sudden, like 5-6 hours later, it's over.
Yep.
The Kings are out.
Well,
Kings are out.
Toronto wanted Keegan Murray, and I think that was the biggest
Okay.
untouchable outside of De'Aaron Fox and maybe Sabonis. But
Yeah.
if you're Sacramento, I mean, what can you give up in that situation? Are you going to give up a 35-year-old Harrison Barnes? Are you going to give up a bunch of draft capital? I don't see what they could really do there.
Yeah. It'd be rough, and it's hard to tell what Siakam's trade value is since he's a free agent after this. Correct.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
OG, we just saw him. They gave up Emmanuel Quickly, impending restricted free agent, RJ Barrett, and a second round pick. That when you really look at it, it's not a lot. Like Quickly's awesome. Quickly's very good at what his role was in New York, and now he's a starter, and his role's not going to be the same. And he's been playing well in Toronto, but it hasn't been as lights out as it was in New York because we
Right.
only got 20 minutes, and now he's going to have to play 32 to 35 minutes a
Yeah.
game. And
Small
it's
sample
interesting
size. Small
how that
sample
one's going to
size.
right. It changes, the dynamic changes a little bit. He has to play different because he has to play longer. He has to play harder, all that. So I just don't know what Siakam's trade value is. It's a little bit more than OG, but it's not much more, especially as the days and the weeks keep coming through January, end of February, inching towards the trade deadline. The the trade value is going to go down because you're getting less time with Siakam, less time to get him acclimated to the new team,
Right.
especially if it's a playoff hopeful or a playoff contender already. Like if we're talking to Golden State, I think they're in on Siakam just because they have to do something.
At this point,
I
yeah,
just
something's got to
have
give.
no idea what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I
They
I
don't
think
have anything that Toronto should want.
the Warriors need to be involved in every trade talk possible in order to not only keep Steph happy, but keep the boat afloat at this point. It's really sad that we've gotten to this point, like we mentioned at the top of the pod, but I really think that it's great that Siakam can give all these teams value. I know as the trade as the trade deadline comes closer, we're going to be in a situation again, like you said, where the value is going to go down. He's not going to get as much, or the Raptors aren't going to get as much. But I think it does kind of set a weird precedent. The Anunoby trade, going back to it, it almost sets like a player, like a 2-for-1 kind of Rudy Gobert situation in the sense of how Rudy Gobert got traded for a bunch of draft picks. OG got
Yeah.
traded for a lot on paper. But of course, if you look at it, RJ Barrett and quickly can, it's a middling, kind of 10 seed.
It was a salary dump and
It's
a
a
restricted
dump.
free agent.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it's going to set a weird precedent for the trade deadline. You're going to see a lot more like 2-for-1s, 3-for-1s, which we don't really see. We see player for player deals, but not as many as we've seen in the past. And I think that as long as draft picks are going to be there, draft picks will always be king. But it's good to know that we can still do these big player deals and kind of have a fun day out of it, dude. It feels like a field trip going in the Twitter replies on the Shams and Woj tweets about it. So
Yeah,
I love that
for
vibe
sure.
for the NBA, and I think it's going to set a good precedent. And maybe that wasn't a great comparison with the Gobert, but in my brain, I'm like, wait, this kind of makes sense. So I'm going to say it. You know what I mean? But um, but this trade deadline is going to be really fun. We're going to start bringing out the trade machines, like we mentioned. I'm feeling great. The trade machine also sucks on mobile, so
Yes,
yeah, I hate it. I hate it. The ESPN site in general just sucks on mobile. It feels like I'm stuck in like
correct.
2006. But regardless, I got a computer. We're gonna be going crazy with the trade deadline, the trade machines. Tyus Jones, you will be a rocket. Daniel Gafford, you will be a rocket. This next couple months, this next month and a half is gonna be fucking awesome. I can't wait.
Yeah, we'll start doing the trade machine segment this next episode,
Perfect.
Wednesday. When we record Wednesday, it'll be up on Thursday. We'll start bringing those out. I'm trading Siakam to Dallas.
Yep.
Just letting you know.
just put
for
that
nothing.
out there.
Just for nothing.
Yep.
The 4 second-round picks that we don't even have. Let's talk about another team. Shout out the Knicks. You're doing great. I hope you keep it up. This is awesome. It's very fun to watch when the Garden's popping, basketball's popping.
Exactly.
So just keep it going, boys.
Yep.
Let's talk about a place that when it's popping, basketball's popping, but when it's down, it's still popping because no one cares about the Lakers outside of the Lakers. And the Lakers have lost how many as they've lost 11 out of 13 or 10 out of
Yeah,
13 is what
they're
it is
stuck. I think
now.
it's 10 out of 12. They're stuck.
Yeah.
This is bad.
They just all of it looks bad, and LeBron brings up the Darvin Ham situation, the coaching style, the minutes, the rotations, yada yada. That gets leaked. LeBron leak, as they call him, is he's starting to leak things. He's getting things out into the press, and it's back. It's back.
Oh, Lilique, that's great.
It's just the LeBron stare at the ball, spin it in your hand, and step back.
Yep.
Every season, this was the greatest offseason for a LeBron team that we've ever seen. And then the step back is LeBron has to make a trade. They have to help LeBron. They need LeBron to get help. Yada yada yada.
Yep. It happens every year,
every single season,
every time,
every single season.
Yep.
Awesome.
I would love if we could get the retirement home Lakers back, like we mentioned before. That would be so sick. I mean, of course, you'd have to have different faces, but I mean, hey, Vince Carter's still got it. Jamal Crawford's still got it. You need a vibe there at some point. Something's got to give.
Hoodie Melo's back.
Yes, expeditiously. I need that. The Lakers are stuck, man, and it's really unfortunate. They hung the banner. They got the banner curse. Kobe would be so displeased seeing what's going on in LA right now. Of course, they got the bubble title to always, hold their heads about, but it can't get much worse than this. But we've seen it get worse than this with the Lakers, and it's sad that everyone knows how a LeBron roster should be constructed. We've seen it in the latter years of Cleveland. We've seen it in Miami. We've seen it in the beginning of LA. And the scouting department, everybody in LA has some vendetta, not only against LeBron but against themselves, because you're not keeping one of the greatest players in the world, if not the greatest player of all time. You're keeping him unhappy. And I'm so surprised that he's still there at this point. This has been 3 years of the same shit. And yeah, they've made the playoffs most of these times, but you don't have many results to show for it besides a bubble ring. And I for one, think the bubble ring's legit. A lot of people don't. I'll never call it a Mickey Mouse championship. I will never do that to my king. But I want to make myself clear. The Lakers are fucked right now. They are stuck in a weird spot. And I don't think it can really get much better. And people are who tweeted? Who was the coach? I'm forgetting the coach that tweeted blaming Anthony Davis. George Karl, I think it was. He was blaming Anthony Davis. What are we doing here? Davis has been healthy for most of the season.
Himself. George Karl blamed everyone and anyone on a team organization other than himself for a bad coaching job. So I won't hear anything that George Karl says. I don't care. what he says. It doesn't matter to me. But yes, Anthony Davis and LeBron James, if you told them preseason that they're going to play almost all of the games, they've only missed a handful of games because of
Yep.
rest and just little nicks. It's not been anything crazy, big injuries. Nothing's happened yet. If you told Lakers fans and people in the organization they're going to play 90% of the games this year, you're like, all right, top
Easy.
4 seed in the West.
Easy.
We're chilling. They're not even in the play-in right now.
Yep.
They're not the 11th seed as we're recording this on Sunday, January 7th. Like, they're not even in the play-in. And all of it looks bad. Just all of it looks bad. I don't know you can't just like bring in people and have it be fixed. The Kyrie trade's not happening because Kyrie and Luka look good in Dallas when they get to play together. It hadn't been often yet, but
Right.
when they do get to play together, it's been pretty good. You're not getting Kyrie unless Kyrie just goes on a tirade and it happens. Like, not counting that out. But as of right now, you're not getting him.
Right.
Like, I just don't know what trade there is that the Lakers can do that will make them even just get in the play-in, like comfortably into the play-in.
I don't see much. I mean, a lot has to go right for their bench. We're starting Torian Prince, almost every single night. And I'm not saying he's a bad player because he's not. Atlanta Hawks legend,
Right.
but Vanderbilt is getting starting time. He is averaging 2 points a game this season. His defense is great, beyond great. I've seen him play in high school. I've seen him drop 50 in high school, 360 dunks in the game. People forget that NBA superstars were all, not just superstars, NBA players, the 13th man, the 15th man on the bench, they were like some of the best players in their state. And it takes a lot for me to really remember that sometimes. Jared Vanderbilt was crazy in high school. Man, I can go on. But that is crazy. It was so fun. Shout out Victory Prep. I don't even think you're a school anymore. But LA is in shambles, and I feel like all these mixed up starting lineups. There was a Lakers tweet, and it was the lineup. I think nobody was under 6'8" in the lineup, and the quote tweet was, "You are starting 5 power forwards. What are we doing?" Like,
The Detroit Pistons model.
yeah, yep. Oh my God, Isaiah Livers getting
Recipe for
35.
success.
Yeah, exactly. That's the recipe, man. The Lakers are stuck. I hope that something can give at this point. I don't know what they can get or give though to get out of this position. Sure, you can get Siakam. That's not going to happen though. I mean, I don't know
No,
what's got to give.
because you got to wait another couple weeks before you can really trade anyone on the team.
Right.
Because Rui got a new deal, Austin Reeves got a new deal. Then all the free agents you brought in, like Gabe Vincent and whoever else, like there's just Did you hear what Bill Simmons said the other day with Zach Lowe on his podcast?
I did not.
So they were doing league pass rankings that they always did on Grantland, which we were talking about off show was how much we love Grantland. But in the middle somewhere, Bill got distracted and just started talking about fake trades, which happens nearly every NBA podcast that he does. He was like, what if we just traded LeBron James back to Miami? Gabe Vincent, LeBron James for, I think it was Kyle Lowry and something else to make the salary fit. And then you bring LeBron back home. And Zach Lowe's like, that's one that I had written down.
What?
I was like, what are we talking
These
about?
are NBA experts. What are we doing?
Which I will say that that Bill Simmons doesn't come up with trades on his own anymore. This is all just hearsay that he hears from people, and then he just leaks it through. He's like, I came up with this trade the other day, and this is all just information that he's heard from people that LeBron may or may not want to just go back to Miami. That's how I'm interpreting it, because every time he comes up with a fake trade, I'm just like, there's no way you just were like, LeBron back to Miami, guys. This works.
Who thinks
This
of
is
these
easy.
things? What are we? That's insane. He's using his
I'm
powers
here
for
for it.
good, I think. This is great. I love the discourse that
this
can
is
come
good.
from this.
And then what I wanted him to go on was, which Bill Simmons hates Kyrie, so he's never going to say anything good about Dallas, no matter how good Dallas ends up being or who Dallas brings in at the trade deadline, or if they bring anyone in at the trade deadline. LeBron to Dallas. It's time to start the agenda. LeBron, Kyrie, and Luka. LeBron loves Kyrie. We already know that. Kyrie and LeBron want to play with each other. We already know that. But LeBron loves Luka. He wanted Luka to be the first LeBron signature athlete, yada, 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 with Nike. If you remember that podcast with Dwayne Wade and was it Richard Jefferson and everyone that he started bringing that up with. I'm just going to start that agenda. Bring LeBron home to Dallas, Texas, where he's never had a home, but there's no state taxes. You don't have to live in California anymore. No state taxes. You can get a way bigger house than you have in LA. Way bigger. I know you're a billionaire, so you can really do just whatever you want.
Buy a city.
LeBron, Dallas is great. Great food, great people. We'll get you some cowboy boots. Luka will get you a giant like tank that he drives to the game sometimes. It'll be awesome. Trust me, LeBron. We'll get you your fourth or fifth ring. We'll get you one outside of the bubble. Kyrie, Luka, LeBron. Who says no?
Man, that was a great pitch. I love it. I think that, in a perfect fantasy world, I think this might work for you.
Right.
If you want to go take a nap later and really fantasize about it, the floor is yours. The dreams can happen.
Yeah.
Man, I got nothing for this. I don't know. I don't know where LeBron is going to go in a year or two.
Look, we're just saying Josh Green. We'll give you Omax, Grant Williams, and we got a first round pick in 2029, and I think we got one in 2031 that we can trade now. So
there it is. Wow,
I'm just saying, LeBron, come home, Dallas, Texas. It'll be great.
Oh my God, that's a haul, folks, for sure. That's incredible.
Just saying.
Yeah.
That was right off the riff. I don't even know if that works in Trade Machine. Probably not.
Definitely not. But
we have a new owner, so the luxury tax doesn't even matter to us anymore. It's awesome.
Yeah.
We got real billionaires in
Mark Cuban for the $35 million in bonuses that he's giving the employees. That's great. LeBron, you could get that bonus. You can get some of it.
He gave 1% of his deal of $3.5 billion. That's pretty good. $35 million.
Wow.
1%.
That kind of
you really do the math on
puts
that,
it in perspective. Wow. Yeah. All off the dome, baby.
Me and my dad were talking about it yesterday. I was like, all right, well, yeah, when you put it that way.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
Sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll start doing real fake trades on Wednesday where we'll go into the trade machine. We'll screen grab it. We'll bring it onto the pod. We'll put it up on the YouTube. You can see it right in the middle so you can actually see it instead of us just speaking it. I'm all right. I might just change my Siakam trade. It's going to be LeBron now. I'm going to figure out how to get LeBron to Dallas.
I love this for you, man. Keep living in your delusions, because if we don't have delusions, we don't have happiness. We don't have joy. You need to bring this joy from within you that LeBron James can be a Maverick, and you need to put it out in the world, because if you don't manifest it, you don't put it out in the world, it's not going to happen. So you need to keep doing this every show. LeBron will be a Maverick.
He's only won multiple titles in one city. It was Miami.
Yep.
What was the team that beat him for what should have been his first title? The Dallas Mavericks. We're just bringing it right on.
Stone's just saying, folks.
I'm just saying. It might work. It probably won't, but I'm going to figure it out.
Yeah, we'll make it work.
Mark, let me in the room. Let me in the war room. I'll get the trade done. Yep. Just give me the phone. Let me call up Dr. Buss.
Yep.
From his grave.
Yep.
Yeah, but yeah, we'll start doing that Wednesday. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But the Lakers are in trouble. The Warriors are dead, and the Knicks are good. That's pretty much the consensus of this podcast.
For now, we'll have fun with it.
For now,
yep.
This is January 7th, so like this could immediately change by January 10th.
Exactly.
Again, so
can't wait, man. This is basketball.
It's gonna be awesome. It's a live or die business, 24-hour news cycle.
Yep.
It's just like Fox News and CNN. It's awesome.
Yep.
But way better.
Exactly.
Doesn't actually implicate your lives. It's a little bit better. But this has been Zero Gravity, Apollo Media's NBA podcast, brought to you by Big City Wings, Houston's Wing Joint, Apollo's Wing Joint, and The Celebrity Mint. CelebrityMint.com. Go check out their awesome graded collectibles of Ric Flair and Mike Tyson and more. CelebrityMint.com. Go to your nearest Big City Wings if you're in the Houston greater area. They got 13 locations, opening their 14th location very soon. This has been Zero Gravity, Apollo Media's NBA podcast.